So over the past weekend, I swapped over my RTX 4090 with an A750 Intel ARC card. And the second I went to boot up STARFIELD for the first time, I was hit with some crazy artifacts. On ARC is not looking too good. It's not looking too good, guys. I guess you could say this is the future. Intel was quick to apologize and say that they were coming out with a new driver to fix all those issues. It seems like there was a disconnect between Bethesda and Intel when the game was being made, apparently. And when launch day came, Intel had no driver. And I'm going to actually put this one more on Bethesda's fault, because Bethesda was supposed to reach out and say, hey, are you prepping a driver for our game? And they just didn't do that. And so I don't really, it's a combination of both of them, but it's kind of unfortunate for anyone who bought that $100 package and wanted to play the game day one. That being said, let's see how this new driver does. So unfortunately, I just had my first crash, but I'm going to show you guys the settings I'm starting with. And I'm actually not doing 1440p. I have it at 75% resolution scale. We're using FSR2. Everything is on low. Motion blur is off. And I've turned off VRS, which is the variable refresh rate. And let's see if we can jump into the game. So starting off in space, it looks like we're getting about 30 frames per second. I've seen it dip all the way down into the low 20s already. I'm sure they're going to be able to fix this. The Steam Deck gets 30 FPS in space, like solid. And as you can see here, if we're going towards the skybox or the sun, the frame rate is going up a little bit, hitting 98% load on the GPU. So we're here at the Lodge, which is a pretty hard to run area, and we're already dipping below that 20 FPS frame rate. Not to mention, the game looks really bad. Like, this is pretty bad looking. Let's go back into the settings real quick. Sorry guys, I'm using a controller right now. And the game crashed. Alright, so I've already encountered this problem that's kind of weird. I can jump to other planets, but whenever I jump to the Lodge here, I end up crashing right as the game loads. I haven't figured out why it's happening. I even went in and changed my resolution to real 1080p. I was essentially running the game as if it was 1440p downscaled. So I've gone in and actually set the monitor to 1080p with all low settings. FSR is on, and the render resolution is even at 75%, which I probably can up this. Let's just see what happens if I go to 100%. And try to load into the Lodge. Alright guys, I'm having a lot of trouble with this game. I can't seem to get it to be stable no matter what I do. I've changed my render resolution, I've changed all the settings, I've gone into the Intel ARC control panel. Let's see if I can actually get this to play for more than a couple of minutes. For whatever reason, when I go to the Lodge, it just crashes every single time. But let's see if we can explore a vacant planet and see what happens. So it seems like on these barren areas, it runs okay. Like, we're getting around 40 frames per second right now. But the second you enter anywhere that has amount of people above 2, the game just like wants to crash. So that's kind of unfortunate. I mean, hopefully they'll have a fix for it by tomorrow. As of right now, though, I would consider this game pretty unplayable on ARC still. I mean, it's a lot better than it was the other day, as you can tell from this image here. What's weird too is I'm actually having some weird disconnects. Like, the card is dropping output for a second and then coming back, and Windows is doing that thing. Like, when you plug in a new monitor, all the windows will go in and out real quick. So it's doing this like dropout signal thing. All right, so instead of trying to land on this planet, I'm gonna pick a different planet to land on. Maybe Mars. It crashed again. That's unfortunate. So this is an earlier save file that I was able to load. It seems like the frame rate's a little bit better. It's almost like the game has a memory leak or something, because it'll eventually start to stutter heavily. And once you jump into the menu, you can see it hang up for a second, and then all of a sudden it will crash. But let's see if we can even get a couple, I don't know, couple kills. And I went into this section of the game pretty dumb. I didn't have too many weapons at the time. So I'll probably end up dying, but I just want to see what the frame rate looks like. Yeah, dropping into the 30s. Yeah, and I went into this part of the game with like 0 ammo too. Alright, we got an autosave, which is not a bad thing. And it crashed again. I don't know if I can keep doing this. Alright, this is the ultimate moment. If I can load into this map and not crash. Alright, looks like we're not crashing now, so let's go take a walk around. Dropping into those low 20s, 19. Yeah, this is really bad. Again, we can't really blame Intel. They pretty much at the last second tried to get it to work. So just keep that in mind. Like, I have a feeling that this week it'll look a lot better than this. This is just... I was watching Random Gaming in HD's video, and he was able to get around 30 frames per second here. Oh no, I'm uncumbered. Whatever that friggin' word is. Yeah, he was getting better frame rates on a 12400. So I don't know why. There it is. It could be that I'm using OBS as well. Maybe he was running an external card to capture the gameplay. But I think that's going to do it for this. So I would say if you're one of those people who bought the $100 package just to play it on your ARC card, to obviously return it, I don't even know. I'm sure you already know that. I don't even need to explain it. But yeah, I feel kind of bad for anyone who really wanted to play it this weekend that is primarily testing and running ARC as a beta tester, essentially. As good as the card is when it's performing good, it seems like there are a lot of instances like this where people kind of get left out and they're, again, the afterthought. And that kind of sucks, but hopefully in the future it'll change and Intel will be supported more. And yeah, that's why I'm going to use this card continuously for a while. I really want to, you know, I don't know, embrace it, if you want to say that. But yeah, I guess that's going to do it for this video. What do you think, Papa? Bad experience? Yep, he's... Alright, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.